Hi, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. All right, Let me get this thing rolled down here and start. See, every time I hit a button, it just freezes my picture. So if you ever see me in some kind of stupid pose like that, that's not I don't purposely do that. It's just the way it freezes. I know I'm not very photogenic. I'll be the first to admit that. So, but anyway, we laugh and have a good time. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and hope you are having a great time and a great weekend, and a lot of great things going on here for you. And nice to see all these people chiming in already here. While we're waiting for everybody to join in, there's a lot of people coming in online here right now. They sort of catch on here at about 8 o'clock, and so we spend a couple of minutes just trying to wait until they all get in here, right? That's what we do. Just want to check this one last email, waiting for permission to post something here, but if I don't get it right now, it's not going up on the PowerPoint. Okay, it's not coming up. Okay, no problem. All right, so what happened here? There we are. All right, I was going to say to you here. So a couple things. First of all, this is an interactive session, and my name is Hugh here. Actually, let's just go back a little bit here. This is the weekend review, and my name is Hugh. Actually, let me go back here just for a second. I thought I had another screen up here. This is it here. Why is this not coming up? Is this it? There it is. Let me start the recording, folks. Let me just start the recording. All right, hang on. Let's go back here. Why is this? Okay, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want right here. All right, so we're waiting for people to join in, and a lot of people are chiming in here, which is really great. And I think it's 8:03. We're going to start the recording right now. One thing I don't want to do is, okay, a little bit of housekeeping first. Last week I kept you here for like an hour and 40 minutes. I don't want to do that again this week. I promise you it's not going to go that long. We're going to try and get to the questions as quickly as possible. Listen, a lot of people on here, a lot of new people on. If you are new to options and you want a bit of a primer on options, let me know. And then later on after this session, we'll stay and I'll give you a brief primer on what options are. If I don't hear from a lot of people like that, then we're not going to do that. So we're just going to do the weekend review and a bit of an introduction to trading and introduction to options, why DayTradeSPY and what we have to offer. Okay. So failing not hearing from you on that, we're not going to do that. So let me know if you are new to options, then we will stay and do that later. The other thing is I do speak a little bit too fast at times. If you find that is the case, please tell me to slow down, or if I say something you don't really understand, just ask me to repeat that or different words or whatever. And if it is a lot of a technical jargon that I'm using and you're not understanding, don't worry, you're not missing out on too much right now. Okay, you're not missing out on too much now. So something else I want to tell you. Yes, we are going solo. Oh yes, this is the last session of the year for us, folks, at least on the Sunday nights, because next week, this is the 17th, right? Next week is actually Christmas Eve, the 24th, and then the week after is the 31st. And I suspect that many of you are going to be out celebrating New Year's, or at least the last thing you're probably going to want to do is get on a webinar and learn about options trading, right? I'm not sure, although it could be very interesting. A little toddy in our hands and talk about options trading. Yeah. So now we may actually do this session instead of Sunday night. Might actually move it up to one of the days midweek or something. All right, maybe on a Thursday or Friday night or something. Might do something like that. Let me know if you're interested in that. And if I have enough interest, then we may move this up into say the Thursday before or Friday or something. I'll have to check with the guys and see what they say about that. So anyway, let me know that in the questions box. So there is a questions box. You'll find a little icon on your Zoom dashboard. And just click on that. I'm the only one that sees that. All right, so let's get started here. And I'm going to record this. Okay, good evening again, everybody, and welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's weekend review. Again, last session of the year for the Sunday night, because the next two weekends are going to be, Christmas Eve on the 24th and also New Year's Eve on the 31st, both being Sundays. Again, put in the questions box whether that would fit for you if we were to move this up, the weekend review, say to a Thursday or even a Friday or something, some session before. Not really sure if we have enough interest, we might just do that. All right. So again, the questions box is open for your questions and comments for that and any other things that you want to talk about. You'll find a little icon, the questions box icon on your Zoom dashboard, and click on that, and you'll see this. I'm just kind of quickly going through these. Okay, great. Oh, wow, I didn't realize there's so much interest in here. Interested in midweek? Yes, midweek. Have to have some sessions midweek. Thank you so much. Wow, Thursdays early. Okay. Wow. All right. Sounds good. Thursdays, Fridays. Cool. All right. Let me pass it by the marketing department. We now have a marketing department, right? For the first 13 years of doing this, we kind of did it on our own with a very small group of people that we did all this thing. And then last year, 2022, I can't believe it's been over a year, Eagle Financial Publications bought us out. And they took care of all the marketing and administration. Great bunch of people, let me tell you, and really enjoy their involvement. So, all right, so let's move along here. So my name is Hugh. It is December the 17th, Sunday, and I'm going solo on this tonight because my partner in crime, who we tend to give a lot of time off to, he's actually on vacation and he's in Iceland right now, and he sent me a couple of pictures. So here's a picture, I guess. I'm not sure if this is the main street or not. He hasn't sort of elaborated on that. But this is the street here in Iceland. I'm not sure if he took this today or yesterday. And here's a picture of that at night. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I noticed it's very dark out there, but with these lights, it's actually a very nice place. Looks cold, doesn't it? But it's a very nice looking place. So, Aaron Stevens, he is my associate in the trading room, and thank you for sending those, Aaron. He may be on during the week. He may be on. He's telling me depending on how we can get an internet and what times and whatever. So hopefully we'll be able to get him on during the week here as part of the trading room that we always do. Okay, all right. On move session particularly if you're going to trade next 2 weeks. Okay, a lot of people are chiming in here. Okay. Fridays are good. You guys are okay for Fridays from the sounds of it. Fridays, Thursdays. You guys are great. Thanks so much, Phil. Is there a chat area on Zoom? I can't find it. There is not a chat area. There's a questions box here, Scott. Questions box on the Zoom, and just click on that. And again, I'm the only one that sees that. So, all right, use the questions box. There you have it. By the way, welcome to everybody who's also watching this on YouTube. And we are going to look uh, at our weekend review here. But quick question for you. Anybody here, please put in the questions box. Have you seen our presentation before? Give me a yes or no. And if this is the first time, special welcome to all of you. Actually, all of you, special welcome. Really curious to see who has seen this before. And lots of yeses. No, first time. Welcome, Scott R. Welcome, Jason S. Welcome, everybody. A lot of people here are Hugh B. Okay. Joan S. Good to see you there. Joan, I think we have a one-on-one coming out, don't we? Johnny L. Yes. Yepers. Yeah. Okay. First time. Ken, good to see you here. Scott S. Good to see you here. Just curious, guys and gals. How'd you, Dennis? Okay, how'd you guys find out about us? I don't even know anymore. There's so many emails that go out all over the place. Emails. I don't know. Are we on TikTok? Are we on Instagram? Where are we? So, and let me know how you found out about us. First, tell a friend told you about us. Daniel H, Jimmy W. Paul H. YouTube advertising, huh? Okay, YouTube advertising. Eagle, email. Hello, Hugh, Vancouver, Canada. Alex, good to have you here. Alex F. Okay, I don't want to get political or anything, but can you please tell me, is this, and I know it wasn't Saturday Night Live that I was watching the other day. I'm just killing time here while a lot of people are joining us. But are they really going to have tampons in the men's room in the federal buildings there. I heard that there's some new thing there where they're going to be putting feminine hygiene products in the men's rooms in the federal buildings in Canada. Alex, please tell me, tell me it's a joke. Okay, search Google for traders on Spy Only. Cool. Magazine advertisement. AJH, what magazine did you find us in? Just curious. Wealth Summit, email, a member of Scouts and Winner Circle. Okay. Okay, Elam, Money Show in Orlando. Ben, I think I met you there, Ben. Email you too. Okay, please tell me. All right, good stuff. Let's move on. Let us move on, ladies and gentlemen. I have to, by law, all right, I have to get to the, where did I go? There it is right there. Why does this keep moving on here? By attending this webinar, you fully understand and accept the financial risks involved in trading securities. I'm going to leave you a minute or two here to read that, actually about 20 seconds. Just know that you alone are responsible for your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. And I think you know that, right? Okay, you had enough chance to read that. So that is the standard disclaimer that we have to provide for you so that keeps us out of trouble. Okay, we have to stay out of trouble. Meet your host, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hugh, and I've been doing this for a long time. So very briefly, coming back from corporate American background, I'd hand off a lot of my money to my financial guru to invest for my retirement. Never really worked out well. I essentially seized control of my account, grabbed it, what little was left. Didn't look very promising. Maybe I should have stayed with them. Maybe another 50 years it would have come back, but I didn't feel I had that kind of time. So learned how to do this myself. And yeah, quite the storied background. I remember kind of just roughly figuring for how little I had worked when I realized how much money my financial guru had lost for me. It was not pretty. Yeah, I was very distraught about that. And I was just thinking about that after. Actually, the other day I thought about this again. I thought, it's funny how so many, those bad things that happen to us. This goes for everything in life. All those bad things that happen to us, or those negative things that happen, they actually kind of turned out for the better in all facets of my life. Um, you know, things like I remember, having a minor accident with my car back when I was a teenager, just a little fender bender. But it reminded me of how important it is to pay attention to your driving. Because if I didn't have that, maybe the big one was around the corner, you know what I'm saying? Just in everything. And I think as I got older, more and bigger bad things happened, and the bigger the lessons. Kind of like school, you go through, elementary school and you have, small lessons and small tests. As you go into high school, bigger tests, bigger lessons. University, college, bigger lessons, bigger tests. But in real life, the tests are real. And unlike school where you get the lesson first and then the test, in real life you get the test first and then the lesson. And everything, and I look back, everything negative that happened to me, there's always a positive that came out of it somehow. I may not have recognized it until down the road sometime, maybe even years later. I would reflect back on that and say, turned out that that was a good thing. As a matter of fact, after my financial guru had blown up half my account, and I had, taken control of it and fired him, I remember then I learned how to trade and I started making money. And I remember writing my guy's boss of the company a letter, president of the company, thanking them for blowing up my account. And I never got a response. Maybe it got lost in the mail. I don't know. But I thanked him because without that, I can assure you I wouldn't be doing this right now. Like if everything went to plan, maybe I would have had a nice retirement, income stream, maybe an annuity, or maybe I would have had just a chunk of cash. Um, and that would have been nice. But I can, and I don't know what I would be doing in retirement. Maybe I'd be just taking it easier, watching TV all the time, or going on trips with my wife or something. I don't know, but I can tell you I wouldn't be doing this. So when I think back, I think, wow, because of that negative experience I had with my financial advisor back in a long, long time ago, decades ago, I had to get good at learning how to manage money. And now so many other people had benefited from this negative experience I had. So if you ever have anything really bad happening to you like that, maybe just stop and reflect. And I don't know, just kind of getting philosophical here. I don't really want to get down, go down that path, but some good came out of it. Eventually, I started making some money in the market, and things changed around pretty good for me. And I didn't have to worry about my kids having an inferior education or no education, nothing like that. I didn't have to worry about getting some menial job in my retirement to supplement my income because I knew that my pensions were not going to be enough and all that other wonderful stuff. Things turned out to be quite good. So when I started doing this and started making money, people around me started taking notice and they coerced me into showing them. They said, Hugh, why don't you put up on the internet as to what you're looking to trade every day? Obviously, you're doing well. So just for fun, we posted it. We said, yeah, sure. And it was actually a very rudimentary website. I remember doing that one night and had this background, these lights on a stage or something, just something I picked up on Yahoo Finance or somewhere. And it's actually pretty funny, and I enjoyed it because I was learning how to create websites. It was just a lark. It was a fun thing. And then of course we got serious, and people suddenly started coming at us and throwing money at us. Here, you got to teach me this. Oh, wait a second, this is getting serious. Oh, we better hire some professionals, and that's what we did. And the rest is history. So we did that for 13 years, maybe 13 and a half years. And then Eagle Financial Publications came around and they bought us out. So they took over a lot of the marketing, administration, all these different things, and we're kind of like working with them and for them and whatever. And we're going to be with them for another long time to come. So we're not going anywhere. But one of the nicest things they did was actually they brought in Aaron Stevens. And you heard me talking about him earlier, so this is him here. He comes from a different background, similar in some ways to me, in that he came from the trenches as well. That's right. I figure I'm from the trenches. I'm um, from the the deep dark dirtiness of trading. Even though I took a lot of courses in different things, but Aaron, he was in his teens when he started becoming interested in the stock market. And unlike his fellow students in high school, who would be out maybe playing sports or doing whatever they're doing, smoking in the men's room or something in the boys' room, I don't know, whatever they did. Aaron would be in the library flipping through Wall Street journals and studying charts and all these other wonderful things. Self-described nerd, dork, super nice guy. He'd give you the shirt off his back, and he really would. Love the guy to pieces. I think he's about 40, 41 years old or something, but he came from a $150 million commodity fund that he was the technical analyst for. So I think if you were to buy his services, like we probably could not afford it if you were to on the open market bring him in like that. But Eagle was able to procure this guy and bring him over, and he's helping with the trading room every morning, which is phenomenally awesome. All right, so we get his expertise, my expertise, and so we have his set of indicators and my set of indicators. And when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. Now, they don't always unite, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Anyway, let's move along. All right, so what are we going to talk about here today? Tonight, we're going to discuss what happened this last week, the upcoming week, what we're going to talk about there. We're going to talk about the 2 to 10K challenge, your challenges, answer your questions. And again, I've got an options primer for those who are new to options. I want you to stay on because after this session, you'll hear the music pan out and just stay on. Then afterwards, we'll just give you a brief primer on options, what they are, why SPY, why now, why day trade SPY. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's move along here. That's kind of nice. Let me go back to that slide here. Kind of jumped on that one here. There it is. I like that. I like the transition. We spent a lot of time and effort developing these website, these PowerPoints, and kind of wondering, well, why am I not letting it go through its transition properly? So, folks, I gotta tell you, I love you all for being here tonight and international living. Cool, cool. I just wondered about that. We're still in there, huh? Alex is saying, Alex F. He is the talking about. Uh, is it a joke about the women's? It is a joke. Is okay. I'm glad to hear it's a joke. Or do you mean it's actually serious, but it's a joke what they're doing? We're talking about having women's products in the men's rooms in the federal buildings in Canada. That's what we're referring to. So tell me if it's actually a serious thing or if that whole thing is a joke, because I saw it in some pretty serious media here in the US. So it's kind of around the world. All right. Are we going to be presenting any workshops at the February Money Show in Las Vegas? We are going to be at the Money Show in Las Vegas. Whether we're going to be doing workshops or not, that I don't know. We'll probably get a read on that in the not too distant future. And if we do, we hope to see you there. Okay. Phil L, I hope to see you in Las Vegas. I have every intention of being there. Um, and no, if I am not there, you will not find me on the gambling floor. I don't gamble. Um, so I try not to gamble. But not to say I've never gambled in Vegas. I actually did, and I won. And I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was walking through a casino and I spotted a token on the ground, and I picked it up and I put it in a slot machine and I actually won. So two tokens came back. So I doubled my investment and immediately I cashed it in. I think I made $1 or something. I forgot what they're valued at, but then I stopped there just so I can honestly say I won in Vegas. Okay. Uh, Thank you for that, Scott. Scott R says, perfectly said, Hugh. God is so great that he is able to work out the most terrible circumstances to our personal good. I never would have believed that. And this is one of those things you actually have to. So I guess we're talking about those negative things that happen to you that it actually turns out to be a good thing. And you don't realize it until later in life. And when I look back, and I'm not going to get into this stuff with you because some of these, like, true confession things here, right? It's like, whoa, really? How did I win the lottery, like the biggest lottery in the world, like 500 times consecutively? Anyway, never mind. It's unbelievable when you think about just like when I think back, I should not be alive. Okay, I should not be alive. But anyway, okay, let's move along. This is what happened last week, and this is amazing what happened last week. We're going to quickly go through it because it's not where we've been that's important, it's more where we're going. But on Monday, it was a low, no news day. SPY gravitated up with the anticipation of the meeting on Wednesday. The markets were, excuse me, were anticipating a no interest rate increase, and that's what they got. But not only that, well, we'll get into that in a little bit. Tuesday, CPI numbers came out, Consumer Price Index. This is actually an inflationary number. It was pretty much as expected after initial hesitation. SPY did rise. I think there was one number that was slightly over the forecast numbers, but the other numbers, like the month over month and the core and whatever, they came in as expected. So the markets anticipated this thing on Wednesday. Come Wednesday, it was like unbelievable. Range-bound trading until the Fed announcement, then SPY launched and shot up like a rocket over 6 points in a matter of a couple hours. Um, and then the euphoria kicked in. It continued actually into Thursday, breaking previous highs, including all-time Dow highs. And SPY went to a high not seen in almost 2 years. January, I think it was early January 2022, the last time we saw these record highs up here. Then we drifted down slightly with some profit taking, but not the sudden reversal we were expecting. And then come Friday, we had a little disappointing Empire State Manufacturing Index. We actually missed the mark quite a bit, fueled by mixed PMI reports. End of the day, slightly down, not much. But the week overall still ended up 2.5% up for the week, almost 23% up year to date. Unbelievable recovery here in the last little while in this thing. So now, and we'll talk about our trades in a little bit here, okay? But Aaron and I, we both have our systems that seem to work very well, but sometimes we have some conflicts. And yes, we did take some hits this week. We took some hits this week, including including a hit on the 2 to 10K challenge, which I'll talk about a little bit here. But anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit as to what happened. So, well, I'll tell you real quick here. So, he was watching this incredible resistance level based on his he uses his indicators, including Fibonacci and Andrew's pitchfork and other things, and he was pretty convincing that we're going to get a bounce off of that. And I was pretty convincing that we're going to move to the upside and break through that if and when the Feds are going to make that announcement. Although I thought that Fed Chair Powell might give a bit of a warning that if inflation pops back up, they're ready to come in with some more rate increases. But none of that happened. So Aaron and I did have some conflicting forecasts there, and it turned out I kind of let him talk me into some of the things in there, but and I sort of suffered a little bit, but it's okay. It's not his fault, although we like to blame him. It's a running joke in the trading room. Something goes wrong, blame Aaron. Right. Okay, question. How do we get rid of the question panel blocking half the screen? I think you can probably make an adjustment on your screens on that one. And Dennis, maybe click on the edge and then pull it in. I'm not really sure. Or go to the top and grab it with your mouse and pull it in here. All right. Okay. So here's what happened year to date. S&P up 2.5%. The Dow up 2.9% for the week, and the Nasdaq 2.8%. That's an amazing week for the markets. Year to date, almost 23% for the S&P, 41.5% for the Nasdaq. Are you serious? Even the Dow ran up 12.5%. So here's what happened. SPY remained in holiday mode, marking its seventh week in a row, positive returns. All right, mostly attributed to the mega cap tech stocks. And the Feds reaffirmed that rate hikes are likely over. Soft cuts, cuts beginning in 2024. The economy is on a slide path to a soft landing. Markets have much to celebrate this holiday season. They are expecting some bouts of volatility still likely as some of the lagging parts of the market continue to play catch up in the year ahead. So there's going to be some segments that are still not caught up to that yet. The dot plot. So this is a graph that the individual Fed members plot to see where they expect interest rates and inflation and stuff. They suggest that now possibly, well, three, maybe even up to six rate cuts in 2024, maybe a seventh in 2025. This is what they're expecting. So for them to announce this last Wednesday, it's like, whoa, are you serious? Well, the market really loved this, and that's what exactly happened. That's why we just instantly ran up. And I know some people were holding some puts on that, and we did suffer. That was one of those times when, okay, this is going to be that outlier trade that we're going to have to take a loss on. Fed Chair Jerome Powell reaffirmed that inflation need not hit the 2% that they're looking for rates to be cut. He wants to reduce restrictions earlier so as to not overshoot. So in other words, if they come in too quick, then the inflation cuts. So they need time. They need time for the effects of the interest rates to kick in and the economy to react to it. So it's not like it happens instantly. They cut rates and the market shoots up, or they bring in higher interest rates and suddenly the economy tanks. It's not the way it works. Things work in a slower fashion. So, but he's saying that they can cut interest rates even if inflation does not hit the 2% for a little while. So it looks like they're going to be ahead of the curve here and look at possibly, and I think he was talking about March, who knows, maybe even earlier, reduce interest rates. Might be nice. Might be nice for the economy and the stock market. We might see a reversal now in that good news is going to be good news. So in other words, good news for the economy is going to be good news for the stock market. Because for the last little while here, last couple of years, good news on the economy was bad news on the stock market, and of course, vice versa. Here's a look at the seasonality charts, folks. This is a seasonal chart. That blue line at the top is where SPY is now. We only trade SPY, S&P 500 SPY. This is the stock that follows the top 500 stocks. The red line at the bottom is a compass of the last 5 years closing price on the daily charts. You can see how, how it sort of somewhat moves in tandem. We're going to focus down into what happened last week. Last week remained relatively flat. However, SPY dropped about 5 points in the following week. All right, so this could be that little breather before we get the Santa rally coming up at the end of the year. And I don't know if anybody saw the e-newsletter that went out the other day. We're talking a little bit about the Santa rally. So if this conforms to the way it went the last 5 years, we may see a small drop in the price. Not really sure. I suspect we just might, in part because of the way the market shot up last Wednesday, and we might see a little drifting to the downside. So keep that in mind. Okay. Be very careful about what's going to happen. A week ahead. All right. Monday, another no news day. Monday seemed to be very weak as far as news is concerned. On Tuesday, we get some building permits, housing starts. All this is going to be low impact. But on Wednesday, conference board, consumer confidence report, and existing home sales. We're going to start picking up speed here. Thursday, watch for unemployment claims, gross domestic product, Philly Fed manufacturing index. These are going to be high impact items. We're going to wrap up the week with personal consumption expenditures, durable goods orders, personal income, personal spending, consumer sentiment. I think that's coming from the conference board. New home sales, inflation expectations. Friday is going to be a lot of volatility. I think getting in there as to what's going to happen on the market. All right, so here's how I expect trading could work during the week here. Volatility could be light Monday and Tuesday. Watch for elevated volatility coming in Wednesday. Hold steady Thursday and then shoot up for Friday. Aim for modest gains Monday, but higher potential later in the week to make some serious money. Trade small, trade often, especially when you're at lofty levels like what we're seeing here. We are at very high levels on the stock market, and if there is going to be a retracement, it could be pretty serious with some real serious profit taking, but we're going to keep an eye on that. All right. So, all right. So here we are once again. There are many opportunities every day that the stock market gives us. If anybody ever tells you, oh, the market, closed pretty close to its opening price, there's no movement on the market. I can assure you that the markets give you opportunities with the way we trade every day. There are movements up and down and both directions. So just have to find that optimum time to get in, make a little bit of money, get out, get in there, make these small gains. It's those small gains, the singles and doubles, that's what creates wealth as far as, I see. All right, that's kind of the way it works. So if you're shooting for those home runs, you get them sometimes, but it doesn't always happen that way. Anyway, every day the market gives you opportunities, and we show you how to do it. We show you how to spot those opportunities and how to trade them. So I'm hoping that you stay with us on that and come with us and join in. And depending on your skill level, we have programs that can actually help you with all of that. Okay. So let's move on here. Here's what happened with the 2 to 10K challenge this week. Yes, we took a little bit of won't call it a bath, but it's certainly a shower. As a matter of fact, one day, a couple days before the market, I guess it was Thursday here, I got in on the excitement of the market still shooting higher on the euphoria with the interest rate. Things did not come down. In fact, they kept going higher. And last week, maybe even the week before, I talked a little bit about this phenomenon called the gold gradient effect. This is a psychological effect, which means that basically when the end is near, you tend to go faster, get a little more aggressive. And in the stock trading world, you tend to maybe overlook a few key indicators that you should, or you get careless, or you get aggressive. And the way I looked at it is I only need to go up a few cents to make up my $215 goal that I wanted. Or was it $209? $209 or whatever it was. and I just needed to go up a little bit, right? So just jump in and get that, get that target. And I remember I was trying to shoot for a little more than my $215, $209 profit. And I actually had it for a while, but then the market reversed. And then came down. Actually, it was down quite a bit. Then it came back up again, but it had a very difficult time trying to break that resistance. This was at a resistance level that we had hit several times in the last 2 years, and it could not just snap through that resistance at that time. Maybe it's even higher. And then the market reversed a little. So I grabbed what it gave me, still had a loss. I had a $2,640 loss, which was not the end of the world, but it did knock me down a little bit. So put us 1566 behind schedule. And then the next day, which was Friday, I did pick up another 675 on 25 contracts, 470 calls, 272 to $3. And I'm tightening the budget variance here. So hopefully we'll get back on track and catch up to this here in the next couple of days. Okay, that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So a couple things to learn from this, and maybe one of the things I should do is maybe split up the order instead of going with, say, 55 contracts, which is what sort of threw us back there. Go with maybe a smaller number of contracts, go for a few more cents gain, and so you're kind of cushioning that blow if something should turn on you. And the other thing I did here to make a bad move, I took 55 contracts on an option that was going to expire. I believe it was the next day or two. So I made the mistake there, two mistakes there, maybe even three. Number one, just got too aggressive, neglected to follow up on the rules that I had actually put in for myself. And one of those rules was to get the time. I didn't give myself the time that I needed. Had I done that, that loss would not have been there. That loss would not have been there. So, being human, I suffered the very thing I preached against. So, but that's okay. We are going to learn from that. We're going to get caught up. We are going to make this, and we're going to get into it. So, all right. So let's get into. So here's a chart on that, by the way. I don't want to move this, get this into, beat it to death, but we're a little underwater right now on that one, but we're going to get caught up, all right? Fell behind schedule about a week. We'll get caught up on that. And that's kind of what that's all about. Okay, there it is. Heading into the final stages. Again, watch for that gold gradient effect. When the end is near, motivations to go faster. Got to remain extra vigilant with that. And thinking here, splitting out the trades, don't compound it all. All right, maybe don't compound it all. All right, with that, let's get into some questions here, folks. All right, there's some questions on the signal. And I'm going to go back here, so bear with me while I go back. We actually have a lot of questions on the board. The new day trade spy signal, a lot of great questions on that. Okay. Rich, I asked about the 475 calls. Okay, I'm not getting into the details on various trades that you might be in right now. That's not what the session's about. I'm thinking here that let's see, I'm just going to quickly go over this. So I can give you a real quick answer, I will. I asked about the 475 calls over the next 2 weeks during the trading room because the prices are in a backward motion here, but the puts are not. The volume on the puts is sometimes four times uh, more than open interest during supposed Santa rally. Is there a tail here? Is there a tail here? No, I'll have to get into the detail on that, Rich. That's a particular trade I want to talk about. Maybe bring that up in tomorrow's trading room. I know you're in the trading room tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk about that there. Da, 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 da. Theo in the Netherlands. I am going to contact customer support. Okay, so question concerning customer support with Eagle. I know that they had some issues, and I'm doing the best I can to answer any questions that they may forward to me, but unfortunately, I don't have access to their back office, and I can't fix things administratively. All I can do is rattle the chains, and they do listen to me, which is very nice. So I can only pass that, your comments if you're having any issues at all with the back office at customer service. Email them, text me or email me. I will forward it to them, and they will have it done. So I know they were having issues with texting, and I understand that should be resolved by now. Okay, so hopefully it will be so. Da, da, da. And I think they have your address on that here. Is the pick of the day about the same success rate as the signal service? Um, Over the long run, the answer is yes. They are both sitting at about I think 95, 96%. We don't monitor day to day. Okay. I know that the pick of the day was and they're both around 96 plus percent. Excuse me just for one. Sorry about that. I had to just kind of blow my nose here. Itchy nose. So they were both running around the 96%, but and that's with the conservative entry points that we had. So we would always take the high. So we would get in for the high, but you would have got in for lower than that. So your results should be better. Now, I will tell you that we did have a couple bad trades this last week. All right. And it was an outlier kind of a week. Aaron and I did disagree. Actually, we had some quite heated discussions on where the market was going to go based on the way the stock was coming up into that massive resistance area. He felt that there was going to be a severe downturn on that, and his indicators were showing him this could happen. And I understood what he was saying, but I also look at fundamentals when I make my predictions. And to me, the fundamentals were still saying it's going to be a strong market. It's going to be a strong market. If Powell says what I think he's going to say, this thing could spike up. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to go up $6. Nobody saw that coming. Like that was like, wow, really, really. So I know some people made some very good money on a kind of a further out uh, purchase that they had on some further out calls. Congratulations to those people. But there were some people sitting in puts, and hopefully you're able to get out of those with some kind of a minimal loss or even a 50% loss. Once in a while you are going to get those. Not every trade is going to be a winner, and there's no program, no system, nothing out there that will be ever a 100% success every single time. So anyway, that's kind of what I want to tell you about that. Phil L, still no signal on the phone message, and my alarms are working. Okay, I will also note that. I thought that they had your situation resolved, but I will forward that as well. And I thought they already talked to you. I thought you guys had that sorted out. Um, and check. Oh, so one of the issues here that somebody had was that and I don't know how this works, but um, so the pick of the day they're both subscription services. The pick of the day sends an email to you around 9:15, 9:10, 9:15, 9:20, okay? To be purchased at the market open. All right. The day trade spy signal, all right, can come at any time, usually in the morning. It's 3 to 5 times a week. So if you don't get it, this just means there's no pick that day. There's no signal that day, but it is triggered in a different format than the pick of the day. Okay. And it's going to come. So the signal is going to come on both your email and your cell phone text. Okay. Cell phone text. So the idea here is to buy that right away as soon as you get it within 2 minutes. Get that in there, put that up for say for 5% target price. If you don't get it at the end of the day, sell it for whatever the market will give you. That has been working over 96% of the time in the testing that we had done. Pick of the day, different. You buy that at the market open, put up for sale for 6% profit target. You may hold that overnight. Those trades are generally more time. They might have more time with them, and you can hold those overnight, and it might deliver Usually I think about 86% of the time it delivers the same day. Sometimes you might have to hold it overnight. They are two completely different programs. They both been working great. So, but I will still endeavor to get your problem fixed. So anyway, what I was going to say was that somebody had determined that on the signal that they were not getting the texts. Well, we were sending them out and they were not returning, which means the issue is on your end somewhere. So it turned out that their cell, and I don't know how this works, but it was sending it to some kind of a spam box or something. And when the person found it, they saw all the signal triggers were there. So they just had to put that over into the inbox or however that worked. And it worked from there on. So take a look at that. Look at your own firewalls first, please, before you just jump all over us, because we could show that it's working on our end. If it's working on our end, you're not getting it. That means the issue is on your end. Okay, so all right, Brian Z, thank you for those comments here. All right, I got a lot of people saying, yes, let's have it another day. So I'm going to talk to them about moving this session for the next 2 weeks, maybe into Thursday or Friday. I'm going to check it into this. So, all right, question here. Do you use any specialized income tax software to report your realized gains and losses? That's the question because of my high volume on SPY transfer. Okay, when it comes to income tax, um, I um, I hand everything over to my CPA. I figure that's his problem. I could probably do it, and I have done it in the past and all that. But you know what? I found that hand that problem over to my CPA because that's what he is paid the big bucks to do and to learn and to know how to maneuver around the IRS. All right, so that's my only suggestion there. Go talk to your CPA about how to do that. As a matter of fact, I would actually recommend that you do because they are trained to work for you. Whereas a lot of the software, even though the software might plug in the numbers in the various places, and I can't speak intelligently on behalf of this, but I'm just kind of going by what I'm guessing that yes, you plug in the numbers and they're going to give you a report back, okay, you owe this much or you owe this much or whatever. But a good CPA who is knowledgeable will know how to plan and maneuver around certain strategies and various things like that. Okay, they actually can get pretty creative with minimizing your tax liability. So I would highly recommend. I mean, it's going to cost you a little bit of money, but believe me, for me anyway, they save me an awful lot more than it cost me. So that's my suggestion for you on that one here. All right, is the day trade spy been profitable every day for the last 2 weeks? The last 2 weeks ago was this last week we had a couple losers. We did have a couple losers. All right, let me see, get a crack at it really quick. Scrolling through a lot of these comments here and some of the answers um, to the questions and a lot of people here. A lot of people for the first time. Really welcome here. Good to see you here, and good to see where you're all where you found out about us. Uh, okay, all right. Hang on, perfectly okay. Okay, I think we're catching up here. This is the chat box, correct? Raj, yes, this is the chat box, correct. How can I participate in the 2 to 10K challenge? We're almost through this version 2. I'm hoping and guessing this week will be the last week for it. We do have some work to do there. Might have to go another few days. I'm not really sure, but we're almost through that. So we are going to be doing the challenge again. There has been talk this week in the back room with us and probably in January. Watch for your emails on that, okay? You do have to be in the trading room. That's where we do it. You don't have to be, of course, but that's where you should be because that's where you're going to find out when to trade it, right? So it has to be, this is a trading room. This is a trading room program that we do every day in the trading room. We do our strategies our out of the morning gate strategy, OMG. We do our scalps. We do our 2 to 10K challenge. It's all in the trading room. We discuss it all. We're going to talk about that a little bit here. All right. Okay. Okay. Can't see your full screen. Not really sure, Dennis. When can we get the signal trades? Cost for 1 month and 3 months. Mark, when can we get into the signal trades? You can get into that any time. the signal trades, you can actually, I think it's on the website. If you go to the website, DayTradeSPY. So he's asking, the question is, when can I get into the DayTradeSPY signal? How do I get that? Let me just pull that up here. So go to the website DayTradeSPY, and right here it says DayTradeSPY signal. Subscribe now. There's a lot of promotional okay. A lot of promotional talk here if you want to read it, or just scroll to the bottom. I believe the the subscribe button is at the bottom here. And let's see here. And let me see here. Subscribe now. Okay, what is it here? Okay, I think they're only going to take 60. We talked them into taking more than 60. Okay, so they're taking more than 60 spots on this beta test here. I believe the rate on this thing here? Subscribe now. Okay. Let me see what here it is here. This should be it. So you hit the subscribe now. And okay, here it is right here. $14.95 for the year. That's the best deal. If you want to go quarterly, $3.99 a quarter. If you want to go monthly, if you want to try for a month, it's $149 for a month. All right, if you want to try for the month, it's $149, $3.99 a quarter, or $14.95 for the whole year. So the way this works, as I mentioned earlier, you get the signal on your email and on your cell phone. Within 2 minutes, buy it. Immediately put up for sale for 5%, good till 5% profit target. Close if it hasn't filled during the day. Close it at the end of the day, and you should have a net, pretty good net gain at the end of the session there. So, okay, all right. Okay, Paul, I'm still listening 474 calls with the signal and the 468 puts that are way down. Recommendations. I don't know right now. I would say let's wait and see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see where the markets take us, and then we'll take it from there because I believe both expirations are going to be this coming Friday, correct? And that would be great. Right. Let's see. Do the videos cover the methodology and indicators that you and Aaron use? Steve, the videos. Okay, so we actually have. Let me bring this up here. DayTradeSPY. We actually have. Let me get back into. Hang on a second. Let me go back to the website DayTradeSPY over here. Online workshops. Oh, this one right here. The Ultimate Trading Workshop. If you click on that, you can actually still buy this. Click here to learn more. They still have it up there. They're going to give you the entire Ultimate Training Workshop, all, I believe, 11 sessions, about an hour and a half each, for, I believe it's $9.95. If you want to learn everything we do, no stone left unturned, $9.95. And get that and learn it and then join our trading room. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Okay. All right. Okay. Can you review the impact of SPY? It happened on, okay, Thursday and Friday, dividend dropping. Okay. So Friday was ex-dividend date, and it was also quadruple witching date. That's when all these options and futures and everything expire on the same day. You're going to get increased volume. Okay. But it was also ex-dividend date. And I don't recall what the dividend was. It was like $1.92 or something. So all things being equal, all right, a stock will drop that day, ex-dividend date. It will drop by the value of the dividend. Okay. So all things being equal, all right, a stock should drop by the value of the dividend. Now, if you were holding SPY stock, all right, you should have got the dividend declared, and I believe it's paid out January the 31st. So you get it like at what, $1.92 per share. If you're holding options, you do not get the dividend. I know some people ask about that. You do not get the dividend if you're holding options. So if so you can see the downward pressure because of the ex-dividend date on Friday. So tomorrow, being Monday, we could see it pushing back up. I don't know. We're gonna have to take a look at that. If you are sitting in puts, the market's going up, I'd be a little hesitant in holding on. I'd probably want to just cut my losses and kind of go back and regroup and see what's going on. But we're gonna look at that tomorrow morning. We need the information from the weekend and into tomorrow to determine which way the markets are gonna go. We'll see what happens on that. And so hopefully we're not gonna, not gonna lose too much. Always practice good money management. By that I mean never put all your money into single trade. Now I know it's a little bit of a contradictory to what we're doing with the 2 to 10K challenge because I am compounding in that one. I think what I'm going to do this week on that one is I'm going to split out those orders instead of, taking a $7,000 or $8,000 order. I'm going to maybe split it out into two, maybe even three orders. Okay, so that we're not so heavily reliant on the market going in that direction, unless of course I see it totally, going in my direction. When we did go into, when I say we, when I got into that Thursday trade on the 2 to 10K challenge, I did jump the gun. I traded more than I should have. I got a little greedier than I should have. I was a little too anxious. So I'm going to put that up to human error. Human error, okay? So um, generally the pick of the day execution is you actually have some pretty good time on those. We actually those trades, as a rule, if it's Monday and Tuesday, they are going to be that same week's Friday's expiration. So you're going to have some time, anywhere from 4 or 5 days. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. You're going to have next Friday's expiration on those guys. Okay, next Friday's expiration on those guys. I don't think I'm in any trades right now, James. I think I bailed out of everything. And it's in the inner circle. Those of you in the inner circle, you should have had check for your updates on Friday afternoon or early evening. I probably would have, well, I not probably, I would have given you all the information on that. So if you're not part of the inner circle, join that. That's like nothing. Get all the information on that. That's where we actually post all the results that we do every day. How do I receive the signal? In the meantime, how many seconds delay? There's no delay. As soon as we send the signal out, you have basically in the next 2 minutes to make your purchase. Okay, you have the next 2 minutes to make your purchase, and so make your purchase, and then immediately put it up for sale for 5% gain. These are high probability trades, so you're not going to get a signal every 10 minutes or nothing like that. You get them 3 to 5 times a week. If you don't get the signal on a particular day, it just means there's no signal that went out that day. But they're high probability trades. Okay. And a lot of people are saying that their signals are now coming in. Okay. Okay. So here's a comment here. Somebody's got a big loss. And so we, every now and then you may have a big loss, but that doesn't mean you should take the loss. I don't like losses. When I am down, and some people misconstrue what I say here. Some people say that when I say I'm down 40 to 60%, I dump it. That's not what I said. I've never said that. What I have said is that when I'm down 40 to 60%, I take a look and see why am I down? What's going to happen? Then I do this. I decide, is this organically going to come up on its own? Because very often when a news item comes in that knocks it down that much, and it's a short-lived news item, I see what's coming up. There's a lot of things that go into this. And if it organically is going to come up, I'm going to sit back and wait patiently. Number two, can I repair the trade? All right. And we have a segment on repairing trades. Number three, if all that fails, then I will cut my losses. Then I will cut my losses. For those of you who are interested in how do you repair a trade, there is a segment that we have. We actually have an online workshop on that. Go to the website DayTradeSPY. Go to the top right where it says online workshops. Click on that. Scroll down here. This one here says Repairing Bad Trades Workshop. Buy it now. Go over that. $249. Money well spent, ladies and gentlemen. Learn how to repair bad trades. You should never have more than a 65% loss. You should never have that. Okay. All right. So that's the thing is, all right. Okay. A lot of these technical questions. All right, a lot of these technical questions. We get into this in the trading room. How do you get into the 2 to 10K challenge? You can jump in right at any time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you right now, jump right into the trading room. And there's a lot of questions concerning that. With that answer will be the thing here. Um, okay. Question here, if the pick of the day trades, if the market gaps up or down the open, do we simply adjust the strike price? No, no, buy the option that we tell you. Okay, you'll be sent for the pick of the day, you'll be sent a particular option with a particular strike price and expiration date. That is what you should buy because we actually take that into consideration when we determine which option to buy. So, all right, Elena, is there any discount for the trading room? What I would do, Elena, is contact customer service. You may, I'm not saying you will, but I think if you sweet talk the guys over there, depending on what you have, they may have a package deal. I don't know. I don't even suggest it. I have no idea. Every now and then they have a sale on, and I know some people they have this lifetime purchase. They spend like all this money, they get everything. So call customer service on that. Okay. Jason S, I subscribe to the quarterly. How do I get in the trading room? Again, any of these administrative questions, I'm going to have to defer you to customer service, and they will take care of you on that. Okay. And I know some people want to flip back and forth. They got the pick. They want to move over to the signal. They want to go to the trading room. They want to you want to get it on as much of this as possible. The more you engage with us, better trader you're going to be. All right. And I'm going to quickly kind of go through some of these questions here. I am new, but I noticed the last couple weeks expiration dates varied from 2 to 8 days. That is correct, Scott. Mondays and Tuesdays, we like to have it that Fridays, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the following Friday's expiration. Okay. Okay, see a lot of support for the splitting it out here. Okay, good to see that. Okay, all right. Pick of the day and the day trade spy signals have different option signals. Yes, they do, Betty Jane. If you subscribe to the pick of the day, you are going to get the pick delivered to your inbox just after 9 o'clock. And I believe there's uh, SMS message with that too on your cell phone, text message. If you have the signal, you're going to get that after the market opens. That's going to come after the market opens. Okay. All right, let's move on here because I am going to talk to you about the trading room. I do want to talk to you about the trading room because let me see here. I want to make sure that I have okay. The trading room, folks. A lot of people ask about this. Trading room is moderated. So the people that don't know, trading room is moderated by myself and Aaron. I think I mentioned this earlier. Where this is where our strategies come alive. We talk a lot about strategies and we talk in the inner circle and different things. And we every day we do this, 9:20 to 10:30 Eastern time. These are not drop-in centers or coffee clubs. And I don't know if you've been to any of these other trading rooms out there, and I know I have been many, many years ago. And it's kind of like whoever's in front of the microphone at the time, could be 2:30 in the afternoon, they seem to have control. Or whoever is the most charismatic person online, they seem to have control. And whenever they yell, sell, 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 and everybody just sells like crazy because we all think that they know something. And maybe they do, maybe they don't. But, where people start talking about other strategies or they start talking about other things like that don't matter. Like, well, did you take a look at Microsoft, yesterday? Or how about Tesla today? See what's going on there. And they distract. It's very distracting. It's very upsetting, and you're not focused. Ours is not like that. And that's probably why we have, to our understanding, the longest running trading room in its 14th year. So why do we do that? Because we focus in on just day trading SPY options. We focus in on our strategies. We don't, it's only Aaron and I. We are the moderators. I shouldn't even say we don't moderate. We are the presenters, the hosts. And we've got 40 years plus experience between the two of us. So this is where you're going to learn. You're going to learn and earn. That's what you want, isn't it? It's interactive. So if you have any questions, there's that questions box just like this. Go ahead and say whatever you want. Aaron and I are the only ones that see that. So go ahead and say whatever you want. Now, if you're asking, well, what's a call, what's a put? I'll say to you, We have to take that question off to the side, and we'll talk after the session on that. You do have to know very basic, information, but you have to know what calls and puts are. But we teach you everything else. We teach you all that stuff. We teach you what we trade. We trade what we teach. You can watch us make real trades, do, real money. Questions, get them answered. We've got the longest running trading room. Answers in real time. You actually have two professional mentors in your back pocket every morning, 9:20 to 10:30. How cool is that? Even if you don't use it every day, it doesn't matter. I think it's well worth it. And for what? $6.99 for 3 months? Basically, what's that? A Subway sandwich? I think maybe half a sandwich or something. I don't know. Buy us lunch. That's all we're asking. Anyway, it's all there, folks. It's all there. And I think that's kind of where I'm going to go with this here. Any other questions I should maybe answer real quick, because I don't want to waste a lot of time. We're already at 9:07, and that was never the intent to go really too far into overtime tonight. But I just want to quickly scan some of these questions here. I think with that, we're going to call it a night for this first part of the session, folks. And again, if you are new to options, please stay online. Right after this, we're going to get into the options primer. I love it. All right. Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen, and let's get into the segment here. If you are new to options, welcome everybody. What are options? They're actually contracts. They're contracts with an options writer, or yeah, that's what they call them. They write the options. There's both sides. There's two sides to options. An options holder, somebody who buys it, and an options seller, somebody who sells you the options, right? An option is a contract, gives you the right but not the obligation to trade the underlying price for a certain price by a certain date. Now, there are two systems. One is the European system, which says you can exercise your option only at expiration. And then there's the American system, which is what SPY is under, which says you can exercise your option at any time up to expiration. So if you really want to convert your option to stock, you can call your broker at any time, say, I've got some options here and want to convert that to stock. That's okay, fine. We will take half the stock value out of your account, lend you the other half, convert your option to that at the expiration price. The next person I see that wants to do that conversion will be the first. I've never met anybody who ever wants to do that, and I don't know why, but that's just the way the contract is. That's SPY. SPX, by the way, which is the basket of the top 500 stocks, which goes in tandem with SPY. You'll find that options on that are about 10 times the price, which is why we use SPY, not SPX. But SPX is under the European system. Anyway, a lot of detail you don't really need to necessarily know about or care about. Just remember that options have two names to them, calls and puts. If you expect the stock to rise, all things being equal, you would buy a call option. If you expect the stock to drop, all things being equal, you would buy a put option. Call up, put down. Options have strike prices. This is the set price at which the stock can be bought or sold when it's exercised. Again, we're looking at the stock. So when you're looking at options, you're actually looking at the underlying stock. They also have expiration dates. These things don't last forever. This is the final date at which the contract expires. Okay. Pros and cons. Pros, flexibility. Flexibility. They have a very cost efficient, huge leverage. You can get into an option very cheaply. You don't need many, many thousands of dollars. You're not buying the stock. You're buying a contract to buy the stock, right? So very cost efficient that way. Very, very cost efficient. The return potential is absolutely huge. You've got this amazing leverage. And this is the reason why option values vacillate so high. You can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money. But you have to realize there's this thing called realized profits and losses and unrealized profits and losses. A realized profit and loss is what you have in your account after you hit the sell button. If you have a loss, you hit the sell button, you lose money, you now have a realized loss. If on paper or up on the board, you're sitting at a loss position, that is an unrealized loss. You want to make sure that you don't hit the sell button when you have an unrealized loss. You only want to hit the sell button when you have a realized profit. Huge potential, many strategies. I'm not saying our strategy is the one and be all and the one and only or anything like that. I mean, there's spreads. We don't do spreads. We don't sell naked positions. We don't get into these ultra high risk trades. Now, I know many of you are new to this. I just want you to promise me one thing, one thing. Um, and whether you come with us or not, doesn't really matter. It's not going to change my lifestyle. But I want you to promise me one thing, no matter what. Do not engage in options trading if you do not understand, do not know what you are doing, because you could be getting into a very dangerous situation. Okay, it's not a joke. You could actually obligate yourself to losing a lot more money than you realize. Now, the way we trade, you can only lose what you put into the trade. Okay, we buy first and then we sell. We buy calls and puts and then we sell buys and calls. We don't do any spreads. We don't do any naked positions. We don't get into married calls, married puts, whatever you want to call them. We don't get into covered calls. We don't get into naked puts or straddles, strangles, butterfly spreads, none of that stuff. I used to do some of that stuff before, but I didn't really make a whole lot of money, and people get so excited because they made 5% that month. We don't get out of bed for 5% a month. Um, so there's a lot of money to be made the way we trade. Also, if you can, use a cash account. Use a cash account. This way you can only trade what you have in your cash account. You don't want margin. Okay, margin is not what you want in this business. A margin is a very dangerous thing to do in this business. Okay. Many strategies available. So make sure you understand the strategy that you are using. Use our strategy. You can only lose what you put into the trade. I love it because it's fun and exciting trading. Let's face it, I'm just as excited today to trade as I ever was. Every day I get up, I get excited. I've never seen anything like it. Um, I mean, it's unbelievable. There are cons. Time decay is a con. Now, you can have trades with strategies that put time on your side, and that's fine. But if and when, maybe I should say when, not so much if, but when the stock turns against you, you could find yourself in a very bad spot and get a margin call. You don't want to go down that path. Okay. Cons, yes, we have commissions to pay, but it's not that bad. I like to use Tasty Trade for my bigger deals because they cap it at $10. I can't beat that anywhere. Okay. Um, Trades can be risky. They can be risky. You know, you do stand to lose your options. All right, so let's take a look. This is what we do. We day trade options on SPY, period. SPY. SPY is the stock that follows the S&P 500. It's the highest traded stock out there. It's affordable, very liquid, exciting trading, okay, and high profit potential. I can't think of a better stock to trade. Ever since I learned how to trade SPY options on a day-to-day basis, I've never traded anything else. One stock, one strategy, 1 hour a day. And I should tell you that over the many years we've been doing this, we kind of figured out what works and what doesn't work in both trading and training. So you're actually here at the very best spot you can be because we know what works in both trading and training. We've done it all. All right. So why SPY? Why now? Well, again, SPY follows the top 500 US stocks. If SPY ever goes to zero, you have bigger problems to deal with than this. Okay. SPY will never go to zero because it's the top 500 stocks. Did you get up this morning? Um, did you stop at McDonald's to drive through there on the 500? Did you go to did you get gas in your car? Exxon, Chevron, they're in the top 500. Did you go to a store at a mall? Did you go to Coach today shopping? They're in the 500. Did you go to Walmart? They're in the 500. Anything, pretty well everything you've dealt with, are you using your cell phone, Verizon, any of these things, they're in the top 500. Everything is in the top 500. That's what you want. You want the cream of the crop. I talked to somebody the other day. They said, well, they do this penny stock. I said, well, how's that going for you? I said, well, sometimes I make money, but usually I lose. Right. Just Google. I don't want to get in all the detail. Google pump and dump. Ultimately, you will lose your money with penny stock. It's kind of like going to those slot machines in the casino, right? You might take $20 and thinking, oh, it's cool. And you might even make some money. You might even make $10 with your $20 in the slot machine. You're getting so excited, aren't you? What are you going to do? You're going to stay there. Oh, I'm on a roll. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to keep putting all the money in the coins in the slot machine until you go to zero. Well, that's what penny stock is. People have a way. There are people. I mean, I could do that too. I could pump up a certain stock, talk about how great this is, and what are you guys going to do the next day? You're going to run out and buy it. Why? Because you said that. Oh, yeah. You're going to run up the stock. Guess who's selling? Me. Because for days before, I was buying at a real cheap price. I pump it up. I sell it way up there. Guess who sold it to me? You. And here's the irony. You're going to say, Hugh was right. It did go up. Well, you're the ones that drove it up. And I jumped the gun, sold. I made my 2, 3, 4, 5, 810, 1,000%. Thank you, suckers. You come drifting all the way back down and you say, well, I lost another one. I would never do that. Not only is it just plain wrong, but it's illegal and everything else. So don't ever worry about that. But that's what penny stock is. You don't want to go there. Stay with SPYs, the top 500 stocks. The way we trade, all right, it's efficient use of analysis time. You don't have to be up, all hours of the day and night looking at your stocks and your sectors and your ETFs. And I get in front of my computer somewhere between, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I can usually tell pretty quickly where SPY is going to go with the way we trade, right? Moves are quick, earn your daily gains faster. You're going to get fairly reliable, consistent, predictive, even um, forgiving stock with SPY. SPY, once you understand the characteristics of this amazing stock, it has an amazing, it's amazing how predictive it can be. It's like dancing with your best friend or dancing with a dancing partner that you really have chemistry with. You take 2 steps forward, they take 2 steps back. They take 3 steps forward, you take 3 steps back. They go this way, you go that way. This way. It's like you're totally coordinated with the stock. And when you understand the nuances and the characteristics of the stock, you can play it like a puppet on a string. That's in your favor, folks. You can anticipate the pricing in any market up or down. Why not SPY? Learn something new, stay mentally sharp. Do you know I have people in their 80s, even 90s that trade SPY? And I talked to this one gentleman yesterday. It was 2 days ago, two days ago. 84 years old. Is he online? Let me see if he's online. I don't think he's online. I don't know. I got a lot of people online here. Love this guy. Maybe he's online, maybe he's not. 84 years old. He is still involved in aviation. Test pilot. He's a test pilot. He's flown them all. He's been in the military. He's been overseas. He's been everywhere. Great guy, but mentally he's as sharp as a whip. When you're trading options on SPY and you're doing this, it keeps you mentally sharp. Isn't that what you want? Learn something new. Earn while you learn. Time's going to go by anyway. You might as well make some money, right? Huge profit potential for serious traders. If you're serious, this is where you should be. You can actually achieve those dream lifestyles, those dreams, whether your dream is to help other people or help your family and friends or be able to take your vacations or buy that cottage wherever you want it or whatever you want to do. This is the time and place where you can actually get that done. Okay. It's exciting and thrilling to beat the market. This is what I like. Hey, I beat the market today. And what I like about it, you can pass this knowledge on to your kids. financial security, not just for your kids, but for yourself, because that peace of mind that you get from knowing that your kids know how to make money on their own without having to go get a job. Again, anybody who saw my newsletter the other day, I talked a little bit about that. Job, what does job mean? Job is an acronym. It's really just an acronym, JOB. It means just over broke, right? You're always spending next year's income. And it seems to be getting thinner and thinner. So this is why I like SPY. That's why I SPY. Folks, let's do a real quick comparison here. Let's say you want to buy 100 shares of SPY. It's going to cost you, let's say, $450 a share. It's going to cost you $45,000. If you buy one contract, which controls 100 underlying shares, say $3, it varies, but let's say even an average of $3, it's going to cost you $300. That's it, $300. You can actually get into this. Now, mind you, you're not going to be making a lot of money on a $300 investment. Most people buy maybe 10 contracts or 5 or 15 or 20. I don't know what most people buy. Most people do not just buy one contract. But let's say you buy one contract. Let's say the stock rises $1, which happens all the time, and you actually have $1 moved. Your stock is now worth $45,100. If the option has a 50 delta, which it would at this point, which means that for every dollar the stock moves, the option moves 50 cents. Well, your option now becomes $350. What's your return on investment? On the stock, it's 0.222%, right? But on the option, it's a whopping 17%. Well, which would you rather have? I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty obvious, folks. 17%. I'll tell you, once discovering the power of options, I never looked back. I never traded stocks again. That's how powerful this is. Folks, one stock, one strategy, 1 hour a day. Learn from our mistakes. We made them all. Okay. You're not going to live long enough to make them all yourself. All right. I think it's really important. I want to quickly just see if there is any other questions I should answer here before we move along with this here. Did I'm with Schwab? I don't have 25K in my account. Your website says that I can use a cash account to be able to make more trades each week. Can you explain this? Yes. Contact Schwab. Tell them you want a cash account. If Schwab does not want to give you a cash account for less than 25K in your account, go over to Tasty Trade. They'll give you a cash account. Actually, if you can set up a Schwab account, because you'll be able to use their charts in real time using the SIM account. You do need a real, you need your account funded in Schwab to use the SIM account in real time. Otherwise, you get the SIM account in a 20-minute delay. Do not use a 20-minute delay SIM account. The numbers you get are going to be all messed up. It's all going to mess you up. It's not going to be good. But you can fund your account for less than 25K. You may not be able to trade it, even if you put a couple thousand you're in and just say, I'll give you more later. Just fund it. So it's funded. They can at least use their SIM accounts. You may be able to trade as a cash account. Look for a cash account. If you're having issues with your broker, contact Tasty Trade. Tell them we sent you, and use a cash account. It's not a big deal. You can trade as much as you want as long as you have the cash in your cash account. Okay, there are ways to get around that. So the only thing with a cash account, you still cannot trade your profits until they settle, which is the next day. Okay, so if you have, say, you have $5,000 in your cash account, you trade $5,000 and you make 500. You cannot trade the 500 until the following day, at which you can trade 5,500 after the trade settles. So take a look at that. That's really important. Schwab is converting Tasty Trades. Sorry, not Schwab is converting their Thinkorswim platforms. You may have gotten a notice. Actually, I got the notice. I think January the 12th or 13th. They're supposed to be converting mine, which is going to be interesting. And so hopefully there'll be no glitches in that. See what it's like. Some people say the transition's not that hard. Other people say it's totally different. But I have not looked at it. I briefly just took a scan, but I didn't really get into it. It looks very similar to the old Thinkorswim, so it shouldn't be that much of a big deal. We'll see what happens, but we'll be switching over to that. Personally, I like Tasty Trade because of their lightning speed executions and their amazing commission structure. I'm not very fond of their charting yet. There's still a little weak, I think, in the charting of it all, but maybe one day we'll have to get into that and maybe, and see if they can improve it a little bit or whatever. But also, I like the fact that with Tasty Trade, if there's ever any issues, they're very, very, very responsive. They're good to work with. So it's a little bit different kind of a program, not as maybe intuitive, and it's designed perhaps more for people that are doing different kinds of trading, maybe selling options as opposed to buying them. But once you get used to it and trade the way in and out the way I like to trade, it's not that difficult. So, all right, I think with that we probably have it all covered. And thank you for sticking around. And folks, if you want what I have, you got to do what I do. Hope to see you soon. Hope to see you in the trading room. Have a good one, folks.